Hello, good afternoon. I'm Sue Horrobin, a specialist in the Policy and Insights team at RAP, having joined RAP a year ago after many years in local government, environmental and waste services. So thank you for the opportunity to speak to you this afternoon about the work that RAP is doing with manufacturers and public buying organisations and the support we're providing to local authorities with their procurement of food waste containers and vehicles. Next slide, please. So in response to the known challenges with readiness and capacity to move to simpler recycling and food waste collection, we've been working with manufacturers and local authorities for over a year to identify ways to shorten delays and, where possible, reduce costs in procuring food waste equipment. Last year, we worked closely with manufacturers to create standard specifications to streamline procurement. And we launched a programme of support for local authorities to enable joint procurement and to encourage consistent orders of larger quantities where possible. And this year we're continuing our programme of work and support to local authorities with their procurement and to try and develop further resources that will help local authorities in their preparation for food waste collection. Next slide, please. So we're aware of the many different tasks and challenges that sit behind procurement. Firstly, identifying what equipment is needed, identifying the range of properties that you collect from and their requirements from curbside to communal, preparing specifications from container colours and sizes to types and numbers of vehicles. Market engagement is seen favourably by manufacturers, and I'll talk a little bit more about that shortly. And you may need to carry out stakeholder engagement and market engagement to prepare your specifications. You may need to develop a business case. Next slide, please. Or a service implementation plan. You'll need to identify the route to market and develop your procurement strategy and your procurement documentation, all this before you can actually start that procurement process. So RAP is providing support across this range of tasks. We carried out a lot of engagement with manufacturers in June and July this year to understand the current state of the market, and I'll just go on to provide a bit of an overview about what we've found. Next slide, please. So as I say, RAP is continuing to work with manufacturers and providing two-way liaison between the marketplace and local authorities. And we're feeding back the key messages through webinars like this and our one-to-one meetings across both sides of the supply chain. We've discussed with manufacturers current order book status and how they felt things will change and develop over time. And we asked what key messages they would share with local authorities to help their procurement. I'll provide a summary of those messages in a moment, and further detail can be discussed at one-to-one meetings with local authorities if that would be of interest. Similarly, we are interested in speaking with any manufacturers that we've not yet met with, and contact details will be provided in this slide pack. So next slide, please. So with regards to the procurement of containers, the key messages are that there is a high demand for containers currently, with lots of opportunities for manufacturers, which means they can be selective about which they pursue. So opportunities need to be attractive to encourage competition and secure bids. Part of that will include pre-procurement engagement, and that's recommended to enable local authorities to discuss lead times and manufacturing programmes. It's important to start procurement early and be realistic around delivery times. And there's a risk that price will increase if there are delays, and it may be better to buy containers early and store, for example. Ensuring that evaluation is flexible to accommodate timeframes is essential, as even after market engagement, lead times could change during the procurement process. So having flexibility within the way that you evaluate will be quite crucial. Governance processes will need to be smooth to prevent any delays, so ensure you're realistic with your stakeholders. And overall, the programme is key here in building realistic timeframes, flexibility to respond to market changes. Lead times may be quite lengthy currently, but not as lengthy as for vehicles, so the critical pathway is being more driven by vehicles than containers. Next slide, please. So the key messages on vehicles, and you will see that there are some common themes here. There is a high demand for vehicles, and manufacturers can be selective about which opportunities they pursue. So local authorities need to ensure that their opportunity is attractive to achieve competition. Market capacity is limited, build slots are finite, and generally booked for the next 12 to 18 months. As more orders are placed, lead times could extend further. So pre-procurement is essential in engagement with the market to establish lead times and the manufacturing programme and allow local authorities to plan their procurement accordingly. As part of that, ensure that evaluation is flexible to accommodate timeframes, as even after engagement, lead times could change during the procurement period. As with containers, the government process needs to be smooth to prevent delays, and it's important to be realistic with stakeholders. Joint procurement on vehicles could provide good results and bring cost benefits and make your projects more attractive to bidders, which will generate more competition. So it's worthwhile speaking to partners to see if there's any opportunity for joint procurement. A message is to keep procurement simple and reduce options for variance. These are unlikely to be attractive as they are going to increase workload when bid teams are already under significant pressure. Specifications should be prepared by technical staff, and RAP have a standard specification as a starting point. T's and C's need to be reasonable. For example, expecting to be able to cancel orders during the build process is unlikely to be commercially acceptable. Thanks. Next slide, please. So in terms of resources and support that's available from RAP, next slide, please. There is a range of resources and tools that we've developed to help with procurement. Specifically, you've got the specification for food waste vehicles on the right there. There's also one for containers. There is supplementary procurement guidance, which provides a one-stop shop for procurement information and information on frameworks. And there's a business case guide, which is a really comprehensive document that will help you prepare a business case if you need one. We've also launched the Joint Procurement Database recently, which is an opportunity to find a procurement partner. And I'd encourage you, if you're interested in that, to sign up to use the database. Next slide, please. We've got some planned activity ongoing. We've got 2 more webinars on the 24th and the 15th of October, specifically on procurement, the theme of procurement of equipment, where we'll be hearing from local authorities, providing any latest market feedback and looking for opportunities for joint procurement. And we are providing one-to-one support as needed with local authorities. For example, how to use the standard specifications and the other resources that I've mentioned, how to procure successfully within these challenging market conditions. We're also continuing our engagement with manufacturers and public buying organisations. So next slide, please. In addition to the programme of support we're providing on procurement, there's support available from RAP's local authority support team who can help with your communications. There's lots of tools, guidance and templates available to help with communication. And next slide, please. And a wide range of other support, which is summarised in this slide here, and the contact details for the team are also provided there as well. Next slide, please. So just briefly, a couple more things to mention. With regards to MRF capacity, next slide, please. We have contacted private waste collectors and brokers to understand how recycling collection services have changed since the new workplace legislation became live earlier this year. The survey will help RAP and DEFRA to better understand service coverage, plan future changes and levels of separation of collected dry recyclables. So insights from that survey will provide a focus for further engagement and help shape supports and interventions for the sector. Providing your contact details isn't essential, but it will help as we can then further engage with those that provide their contact details and develop supports and interventions which will be useful. And I'll just finally mention the gate fees report, which was only published last week for 24-25, available on the WRAP website. And there is a dedicated webinar next week on the 10th at 10 a.m, which you can sign up for. It's available online.